Yes, greeting to the family, Dr. David Roots Chemist, speaking to you, coming to you again with another informative and positive video specifically regarding our health. So this is tamarind, okay? The video title says the easy, quick way to make tamarind juice. For those people who have not experienced or used tamarind before, we'll talk about how to use the tamarind a little bit later on in the video. But before we do that, let's look at some of the research as to why we should be consuming more of this fruit rather than, especially in the juice form, rather than the Coca-Cola, the Pepsi. We don't endorse any of that. The high fructose corn syrup and all these other unnatural, high preservatives, high sugar types of unnatural sugar types of drinks that are not good for you. I printed off some research about tamarind. We could first look at its nutritional profile. So very high in vitamin B1, okay, B2 and B3, so high in the B vitamins. It does contain other vitamins as well. You have vitamin C, 4%. So that's not particularly high. Very high in iron, 22%. So we're talking about nutritional value per 100 grams in the raw tamarind. 22% in terms of iron. Okay. Magnesium, 26%. Phosphorus, 16%. Potassium, 13%. Even has zinc in there, not too high, but 1%. So in terms of, this is like then, how we all buy our vitamin supplements and all of that, vitamin powders. This is a vitamin then. Okay, this has all the vitamins, not all of them you need, but a large majority. In particular, look at that iron content that we mentioned. And remember that it has no fats. It's not really high in proteins, of course, because it is a sugar. It's a fruit, so it's going to have sugar. Lots of dietary fiber, and you'll see that when we actually make the drink. And, a large majority of it is water as well. When we look at some of the other research on tamarind, it says, for example, in folk medicine, Southeast Asia, that the fruit is known to exhibit laxative effects, of course, because it's got all that pulp in it, as well as the acids. It says due to the high quantities of malic acid, similar to what you find in apples, tartaric acid, potassium bitarate. It's used for the relief. It's used for the relief of constipation. Has been documented throughout the world. Now, in terms of the actual research, and please go ahead and do your own research. It says tamarind has been found to lower cholesterol. Okay, this was done looking at animal testing. So they fed it to, in this case, to hens, and it's lowered the cholesterol. And it talks about that tamarind has very high antioxidant activities, which is obvious from the level of vitamins that it has in there, and in this case it also has minerals, like we said, with the iron. And just taking a quick read of the other things. So it talks about treatment of tamarind. That's with tamarind leaves. So what we're talking about is the fruit, okay, of tamarind. I know that when you have these acids, and we're going to talk about this a bit later when we're actually making the drink, this fruit, different trees, when I used to pick tamarind, particularly in Jamaica, when I picked tamarind, you have some trees that the fruit was quite sour. I mean, really sour, puckering to the mouth. And then you had some trees which had more of they're all sour, but they had a sweet, those were my favorite, had a sweet sour taste to it. Okay. And whenever you taste that sour, that means you've got your acids, your natural acids. And these acids are going to act as natural electrolytes because they contain ions. All right. As well as, obviously, we talked about the mineral profile already. So tamarind is going to be something that you can use if you're exercising. You can use it for recovery. You can use it in the summertime in particular to replace lost electrolytes from sweat. This is go and look at the research. There's more research. We're not going to get into all of the research that's available on it, but this is an extremely beneficial fruit. If you have issues with high sugar you know, diabetes, then obviously you might want to moderate your consumption of it. You know, that's a whole larger issue. I'm not giving any medical advice per se, but this is a whole food, and the way we're going to consume it is as a whole food. So let's, without further ado, let's look at how we can make tamarind and make it into an easy drink that we can consume for our health. So this is tamarind, or tamarind pods. Okay, the actual fruit is inside the pods, which we're going to open up. It comes from a very large tree that grows in tropical climates, usually in dry, very dry, hot places. When I lived in Jamaica, you find tamarind there. It grows across the Caribbean. It grows even where I'm originally from, in Bermuda. Tamarind is especially in Southeast Asia, so it forms a big part of Indian cuisine, as well as in other parts of Asia like China. So this is tamarind, and we're going to use this to make our tamarind juice. Now, so let's just crack it open. So what you do is you just squeeze it like that, for those people that are not familiar with the tamarind. So you squeeze it like that, and this is a shell, and on the inside you can see the actual fruit, which is inside. So normally it's good to eat raw, in its raw form like that. So I'll just take this off like this, and so this is the fruit, and normally I just pop it right in my mouth like that. And these little strings on the outside, you don't eat those, and it has a seed inside as well, a large seed which is on the inside of the tamarind. So if I expose it like this, you'll see the seed, which is in a pod in itself, which is on the inside, but it's going to get quite sticky. So that's the seed, quite large on the inside. That's the seed of the tamarind. Okay, so what people normally do, if they want to make tamarind juice, they'll take a lot of these. Of course, you can take a lot of these and you crack them open and so on, and you put them in water, and you use your hands, and just, you know, after you wash your hands, and squeeze them and get the pulp off of the tamarind, off the seed, and then you strain it. So we're going to just use an easier method to get our tamarind, make our tamarind drink. So what we're going to use is packaged tamarind. Just wipe my hands here. So we're going to use packaged tamarind, which has already been processed. Sorry, you hear the water boiling in the background. So this is packaged tamarind. Let me just stop the water for a minute. So here's the packaged tamarind. I don't endorse any particular brand. So what this is basically just the seeds, the shells have already been taken off for you. Okay, and in the package tamarind, the shell has already been taken off for you, but the seeds are still inside, and all of those little strings, all of that is still inside. So this is the raw tamarind. Now, sometimes if you buy the packaged tamarind, you need to be careful that it's just raw tamarind. Okay, because the ones that have been tamarind paste, you'll see sometimes they've actually added salt or sugar to it, and so on and so on. So what I get is 100% raw. You just want the tamarind that's been deshelled, and that's it. That's what we're going to use to make our easy tamarind juice, so we can get the benefits of the tamarind juice. So all you need for this is some boiling water. Okay, I'm going to let that water boil. You're going to need some sort of glass pitcher like this, glass jug like this one. Okay, and strainer, colander strainer like that, and then another pitcher, which I'll show you in a minute. So I'm just gonna let the water boil. Okay, and while that's happening, I'll take this off. So this comes out of the package like so. Now you're not going to want to use this whole block of tamarind. Okay, this is quite a large bit, so for a pitcher this size, I'm not even sure what this is. Maybe it's about maybe 1.5 liters. Okay, this is probably a 1.5 liter. What's it say on here? Yeah, it doesn't say the volume of this. So this is probably about 1.5 liters glass pitcher. Okay, for this size, I would probably use, it's up to you, but I would probably use like half a block of the tamarind. So I'll just separate it like that. Okay. Remember, we're doing this to save the labor of de-shelling all of these and then using your hands and so on. But it's not that it takes a very long time, but obviously it's a way to just save a little bit of extra time as well. Okay, so I have a block like that. I'm going to move this over, and I'm just going to take the glass pitcher, and I'm going to literally just drop this in like so. Okay, and my water, you might have heard it in the background. The water is boiling. Okay, so I'm going to take my hot boiling water. That's why it needs to be a glass pitcher, because you're going to be using hot boiling water. And I'm going to pour this and fill this pitcher up. Yeah, like so. That's good enough. Okay, and then I'm just gonna leave this like this overnight. I'm gonna let this soak like this overnight. At some point, maybe if I feel like it, I might come and see if I have the right utensil close to me. I might come maybe, you know, a couple hours from now, and I'll just, you know, break apart the tamarind. But right now it's still stuck together. That's not gonna work. Okay, so I'll just leave that in there, just like so, and leave it and let it steep, basically, you know, over 24 hours. By the time it's done, 24 hours, you will be able to take your knife or some other implement and mix it up with the rest of the water. You can see it's already getting soft now. Okay, the tamarind's already getting soft. So I can mix it out. I need to be careful because the water is still very hot. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. Now the finished product, okay, ends up being something like this. So I already have some that's in the fridge. Here's the tamarind. I'm gonna call it juice, but you know, here's the tamarind juice. Just wipe some of the condensation off of it. And inside, you can see here's the tamarind. Okay, this is unstrained. Right now, this is unstrained. So what I would do to it, I would just, once that process of its steeping and so on is there, I would take another pitcher like this, okay, and I will have a strainer like so, and then I'll just strain off all of the pulp so that I just have the juice. Make sure you shake it up well, you know. In fact, I'm going to shake this up a bit more, just so it's all mixed up, because you want the pulp. You just don't want all the seeds, and you can see that a lot of it has still on the seeds. Yeah, so you can probably even use this more than once. It will get watered down. Okay, so this is why people use their hands when they're making it from the raw pod, and they want to get all of that pulp off. But in this case, we're just trying to make a quick drink. So I'll just do that. Try to strain as much of the pulp through. Okay, I could use this again if I want. Or with the shell, with the ones that are packaged, they tend to have, like I said, lots of seeds that have been crushed and all sorts of things. So you wouldn't necessarily want to just eat this here. It's not really a big deal, I guess, but you just be spitting out a lot of the seeds and the strings and so on. So I'm just pushing through as much of the pulp as possible. I think we get the point of what we'll do there. And for me, I don't use any, so you can see it's that nice dark tamarind juice. So I don't use any want white sugar or any sweetener like that, so I would just use honey. Okay, I'll just take my honey, and has this one been opened? This one's not even open yet. Just take my honey, and I would just sweeten it to taste. Yeah, sweeten it to taste. This one is cold, so the honey is probably not going to mix, because remember I had this one in the refrigerator already, so I've just mixed it up. Now of course you can add things like lime. You know, maybe I can take a squeeze of lime, squeeze some lime into that. Okay, you could also make add ginger as well when you're doing the steeping process, and then you just enjoy. You know, there's your tamarind, rather than buying, you know, all of the different sweet drinks that come from the shop already processed, which are not very good for you. As we said earlier, the benefits of the tamarind, here it is here. Bring that to the camera. It's not really a good angle. Okay, so the benefits of the tamarind are so high. I showed early on some of the benefits of the tamarind. High in antioxidants, high in vitamin C. Okay, it also has lots of electrolytes in it because it has that high acidic taste. So that means you're going to have lots of those natural acids that are available, which will help with your nervous system. That's going to help with your muscle and your electrolyte balance as a recovery drink. The benefits of tamarind, now it is quite acidic, so you know, possibly it's not something that's going to have the greatest benefit on your teeth if you're drinking it, you know, too much. You know, overindulgence in everything, in anything, can be a negative thing. But it's certainly better than the different drinks you may find in packages and bottles and so on and so on. 100% natural tamarind juice. Simple way to make it. This is David Roots, the Roots Chemist, with another tip. Please like, subscribe, please share with someone that you think may benefit from this and the benefits of making your easy, quick tamarind juice. Here's to health. So here's the finished product. Okay, nice and brown tamarind juice. This is one of my favorite foods. I love eating the fruit raw, and I love the juice. This prevents, I don't have to drink any of those. I don't drink any soda, any what we call fizzy drinks, or you know, any squash concentrates. I do like orange juice from time to time because orange juice is very powerful, but this is making my own 100% tamarind juice. You can see that all that pulp, all that fiber, all the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, full of strength, and natural honey and a bit of lime. Here's to your health. Your heart will thank you. Your digestive system will thank you. Your blood will thank you. Okay, your organs will thank you. David Roots, Roots Chemist.